This is Middle Class Matt from don'tbuythehype.blogspot.com, and I am sports genius, and I am a huge UNC football fan. My last blog was how it was difficult, or last blog entry was about how it was difficult to be a UNC football fan because they always get your hopes up and let you down. I was at the game. I've been 3 out of the 4 games. I went to the first game against Elon. I've traveled and went to Wake Forest. And then I didn't go to the Louisville game, and then I went to this ECU game that was at home. So I saw UNC beat ECU 27-6. Now, I talked about how it was tough to be a UNC football fan, and this game, even though it's a win, totally backs that up. If you look at the box score, UNC in a lot of ways was very impressive. And that gives people hope. They say, look, they lost the last 2 games real close. Louisville's a really good team. And they were on the road at Wake Forest, and Wake Forest is, well, they're not a good team, but you know, so people say, well, they really could be 4-0, and they have hope because they look good this last game. But there's a few things that really stick out to me as a problem, and I'm giving a fan's perspective from the bleachers without the hype. Here's a few things that I picked up on. One is that saying that they could be 4-0 is not encouraging to me, it's discouraging, because they should be 4-0. They should have won those ball games, and they didn't, and I wonder about that. Now, there's a few problems and things I saw. One is they're notoriously this year a second-half team. They struggled with ECU in the first half. I was upset, and many of the fans even heard some trickles of boos out in the crowd, because it was like they were up 10-6 in the first half. Missed a field goal at the end. I mean, just embarrassing. Not good. Still getting false starts. But one thing that sticks out to me about this team is that I believe they struggle with this new offense. Now, the defense is bad. And what the coach has to do with that, I'm not sure. And that's going to be a major problem for UNC because they have good ball players. I actually looked it up. And the game's a lot of times determined on the line of scrimmage. And UNC has 2 offensive linemen who are first-round NFL prospects, and a defensive lineman who's a first-round NFL prospect. Not count all the other players. I think on this team, this year or in the future, out of the starting lineup, there's 10 guys that are going to play in the pros. So when half of your starting lineup is pro-caliber players, you should be having a better season than they are, and you should be able to have a better first half. So like I said, they were really struggling in the first half. They came out, in the second half, hit ECU in the mouth, played a great second half, just like they had done the last 3 games, and they were able to dominate ECU and win 27-6 instead of losing close games like in the past. Like I said, if you look at the statistics, you're going to be very impressed by UNC in a lot of ways. They ran the ball pretty good. I think they ran the ball for around 100 yards on the ground. Bryn Renner had 321 yards and 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. If you look at his stats for the season, you would think he's up for the Heisman. He's been very impressive. But like I said, I think they're really struggling still to pick up on this offense. I think that's where the false starts come. I think they don't look fluid out there. There's no consistency. There's no rhythm on offense. And I think that's going to come with time, or I hope it does. The defense is another matter. So I'm not getting super excited as a UNC fan. They're going to play Idaho this next game. That should be a blowout. That'll put them at 3-2. They can't go to a bowl game this year anyway. I'm not going to get my hopes up, but I've seen a little progress. ECU's a good team, but not a great team. They're not one of the major 6 conferences. It's pretty much kind of a mid-major, but they still won like they should have. Maybe I could have asked for another touchdown or 10 points more in a victory, but I mean, I'm not gonna be picky. But I will say that UNC has some major things to work out, learning that offense and getting the defense to play up the par, because they have the talent. So we'll see if they can do it. I'm not getting my hopes up. I'm Middle Class Matt from Don't Buy the Hype. I'll see you next time.